my throat chakra. So I'm really speaking my truth, you know? What is a spiritual awakening? That's a great question. Hey, I'm Nadia. I'm a nurse. I'm a nurse injector. I'm based in California. Recently, I have been going through a spiritual awakening, and I hope to be a resource for anyone else that is going through this. I want to be the person that I wish I had found, that I wish existed, somebody that was explaining the ins and outs of everything that was going on and what they were learning and their growth and what path they're taking. Because, yeah, I couldn't find anything like that. I feel like there's the conspiracy theorist land, which is like very extreme. And then there is the I'm channeling Jesus and dragons, which is also very extreme. So I hope to expose myself to all of these extremes, all of this wackadoo woo-woo world. Like I will fully submerge myself in it and would like to bring back to you things that are useful, things that are tangible, applicable to like a regular person's life, because as cool as it is to wear like super baggy Aladdin pants and live in Costa Rica and meditate all day, we still have to survive on this planet, right? And you can't do that by just forgetting about the real world. So I hope to bring the woo-woo to real for you and like just be honest about things that I'm struggling with, maybe you're struggling with. Meditation. What the heck is Reiki? What is a spiritual awakening? Past lives. What are the Akashic records? Have you even heard of any of these things? Do I sound like I'm speaking a foreign language? The longer you look into this subject, the more doors that open and the more you realize that this information has been around you your entire life. It is so wild that literally nothing will touch your ears that they aren't ready to hear. So I trust that this is finding whoever's supposed to hear it. You are not here by accident. This is absolutely a part of your journey, and either it's starting right now or you're just finding like a buddy to relate to. And hopefully I can be that for you. If anything in this podcast resonates with you, please reach out to me. Leave a comment if you're watching a video. I would love to talk to you. I would love to know your experiences, because I'm sure everybody takes a completely different path to get here, to get to their realization. And I'll be taking you along mine, but you guys probably have really dope experiences too that everybody can learn from. So please share them with me. I would love to hear. When I was first experiencing the initial stages of my awakening, I did not have that vocabulary to pull from. I didn't know it was a thing. I literally only got that term when I started to share things that were happening to me on Instagram, and somebody responded to my stories with a message, and she's like a prosecuting attorney, like not a woo-woo person at all. And she said, "Congratulations on your awakening." And I was just like, what? What do you mean? This isn't something that's just happening to me. I'm not alone on this boat in the ocean. Like, this happens to other people too. So that kind of blew my mind. Let me tell you, I did look up a definition of what spiritual awakening is, and this is not something that's like in the dictionary or even on Wikipedia, which you would think, right? Everything's on Wikipedia. But this is how Eckhart Tolle, who is like a giant spiritual teacher, this is how he defines a spiritual awakening. When there is a spiritual awakening, you awaken into the fullness, the aliveness, and also the sacredness of now. You were absent, asleep, and now you are present, awake. Boom. So that either make a lot of sense to you or is really confusing. Anyway, what I wanted to talk about on this first episode of this new podcast is how near-death experiences sparked my awakening. Now, I didn't have a near-death experience. I did not have one myself, but I dove heavy into investigation of near-death experiences. I found an entire like incorporation that is dedicated to the study. It's called IANDS, IANDS, Near Death Studies. They hold conferences. It's pretty crazy. They have meetups and like share groups like all the time for people who have had these experiences and have nobody to speak to about them. So why did I even go down this road? Like, I knew that it was a thing that people have died and like come back. I'm sure you've heard stories like that, or that people talk about seeing the light and but they turn around, it's not their time, yada yada. That's like the extent that I knew about it, really. I was not well read or researched at all. But I ended up going down that road because I was really investigating religions. I had been experiencing some clairaudient phenomenon, which clairaudient is anything that starts with a clair, like you've probably heard the word clairvoyance, is like a psychic sense. So we have our five senses, and there are also like a kabillion other senses that we have either turned off in childhood, haven't realized, haven't worked on. They're like muscles, really. So if you don't work them out, they don't show up for you. But I was like spontaneously hearing things, hearing music warp, like the pitches of songs would change and the words would slow down. And initially I was just annoyed and thought my Bluetooth was messed up or something, but I then realized nobody else could hear it but me. And that's when my brain went to, oh, there's some weird like spirit stuff happening here. I'm like, some ghost is trying to talk to me. I thought it was maybe my dad. My dad passed away about 3 years ago. And while all of this was happening, I had this deep call like in my heart to go to church. Now, I didn't grow up with church. I didn't really know anything about church. I've been to churches just because I like the vibe and I felt like it brought me good karma or something. I honestly couldn't tell you the real reason why I was going, but I'd gone like sporadically over maybe the past like 10 years randomly. Like I'd have 1 month out of the year where I go to church every week. So not a devout anything by no means, but I was hearing all of these things, had a feeling that spirits were trying to talk to me. Trust me, I already went down the trying to diagnose myself, trying to have all my coworkers diagnose me with some sort of mental illness. I work with a bunch of PAs and nurse practitioners and stuff. And it didn't seem like there was actually something medically wrong with me. So that's when you turn to like the stuff you can't see, right? When nobody can prove that it's something tangible, then you're like, well, maybe it isn't something tangible. So I'm having all of these noises, thinking it's ghosts or angels or something. And I have this feeling that I need to go to church. Sure. So I go to church. I go to many churches. I called it church shopping. I'm like, which church is going to feel the best for me to be in? Now, I have like a pretty deep qualm with religions, really, just because of how exclusive they seem to be. Like from the outside, we're in this club, you're not invited, we're better than you. Not all religious people are like that, but that's absolutely the vibe of religion. And I also really struggled with how much like persecution toward like LGBTQ, I think there's an I now also, for that entire community. And just in my mind, if there's someone worth worshiping, or people dedicate their entire lives toward God, Allah, whatever, the universe, whatever you want to say. I'm like, there's no way that creator in the sky is like smiting gay people. Okay, there's absolutely no way. So I was simultaneously going to churches and researching religion. I'm like, okay, is the Bible even real? Who wrote the freaking Bible? Is Jesus real? Do they really hate gay people? Is it really wrong to be gay? Like, I'm literally researching these things, like watching debates between traditional pastors and like more progressive pastors and scientific atheists who converted to Christianity. And I really just went to Christianity because it's what I was more familiar with. I was absolutely trying to figure out which religion was the real one. Like that was even a thing to do. So I'm doing all this research. I get a Bible that's like beautiful. I'm like, okay, maybe I'll be like a Christian girl now. Maybe that's the point of all these weird noises I'm hearing. Look how pretty this is. I'll show you. Like, is this not stunning? She's beautiful. Her tabs. So I'm learning the Bible. I'm studying scripture. I'm even getting books that like go along with scripture that help you get through the book and describe what everything means, because it's not something you just pick up and read. I don't feel anyway. And so if you really want to learn about something, the best way to learn it is from the source or from firsthand experience with the source, right? That is what led me to near-death experiences. Now, if you type in NDE near-death experience on the internet, there is an overwhelming amount of information available for you. There are so many people who have died, clinically died, and had experiences and come back to life with this like revolutionary knowledge and ideas, things they would never come up with on their own. People who were never religious and die and are greeted by Jesus or like a Hindu god or something that they knew nothing about. It's almost like if you want to lose 50 pounds, do you want to learn from like your overweight doctor who's giving you like a checklist of things to do, or do you want to learn from the person who might not know anything about medicine but lost 100 pounds? Do you know what I mean? It's like that. I was like, let me hear what these people have to say. The people who have died and actually met God or met whoever is over there on the other side. So after watching and listening to a kabillion of these stories, some are interviews, a lot are anonymous from people who are afraid to be like persecuted from their family, or they're in a religion and anything mystical is like anti their religion, so they can't really come out about it. Those were my favorite stories, right? Because some people say, oh, people are making this up for attention. I'm like, they don't even want the attention. They just want the information to be out there. So after you hear enough of these, they have so many commonalities, you guys. There's so many commonalities that it left no doubt in my mind that that was the truth. This is the truth. And let me even throw a couple of these out for you, like things that almost everybody mentions in their experience. Number one, when their soul leaves their body, they have like an overwhelming sense of peace, like very peaceful. They have no attachment to their body. A lot of them don't even know that was their body. They're watching like the scene from above, like you've heard stories like that. And like so much time passes before they realize, oh, that was me. Like, oh shit, like seriously no attachment. Almost everybody feels unconditional love, like when they're greeted by whoever is bringing them to the other side. Like just overwhelming, like makes you want to cry. You've never felt this much love ever in your human experience. That's a very common thread through all of these stories. There's no such thing as hell. Spoiler alert. Most people were greeted by either some sort of religious figure that they were familiar with in their life, or like a loved one who had passed, or they were brought to like a landscape or situation that kind of matched their level of consciousness when they passed away. So the only poor experiences that I did hear of like things that you could consider a hell or like purgatory that they describe in the Bible or like intense like Catholicism are people who were already a part of intense Catholic backgrounds and then their fears just manifested. But those are super rare. They're really, really rare. What else? They all come back knowing that the point of everything is to love people, to love everyone, to love as unconditionally as a human can. They also come back with the realization that we are all connected. Nobody is separate from anyone else. We were all created from the exact same source of energy, which is really beautiful. And it makes you like, the farther you delve down into that, it makes you like very emotional. Another common thread is that home is not here. Your family here is not necessarily your family. Everybody feels more at home when they've passed. Almost everybody doesn't want to come back, which is also what you wouldn't think. And they're all very upset or like remorseful when they find out that they do need to come back. Like it's not actually their time. That's pretty wild. And just like no one dies. You do not die. You can't die. Energy cannot be destroyed. So your consciousness lives on forever and has been around forever in the past. Like you are just, how do I explain this, guys? Let me put it like this. When I found out that we don't die, God is not a man with a beard and white robes. And like, he loves everybody. He could care less. He could care less what you call him, what religion you are, if you're religious at all, if you like have 3 wives or are polyamorous or you don't identify with a gender, or Like, God does not care. And I say he just because that's how I feel in my brain, but that doesn't matter either. You could say she. You could just say goddess. You could, it truly doesn't matter. That is the thing. It doesn't matter. And now the more you delve in and then realize how much things don't matter, then it can get kind of sad. And that's totally a part of spiritual awakening. It's called the dark night of a soul. When you kind of are in that feeling of like, well, what the hell is the point of all of this? Like, what are we even doing here? There is a point, I promise you. There's absolutely a point. But I would say that the absolute best way to open up your mind and start seeing the world how it actually is to listen to these stories. I will leave my favorite YouTube channels that are full of NDEs in the description on this video. Next Level Soul Podcast is a great one. Every episode's very long, though, just so you know. And those are interview based. There's one called Heaven Awaits, I believe, and it's people send in their stories, and then the YouTuber just narrates them. It's usually people that want to remain anonymous, but there's thousands that you can listen to, and you just, if you are struggling at all with like faith or maybe beliefs that your family have like put upon you, maybe you feel like you don't resonate, and maybe you feel like you don't resonate with anything I'm saying, and that's fine, and that to me just means it's not your time to hear it. But if something doesn't feel right to you or something feels very extreme, probably is because it is extreme and it's not right. And we have been literally taught since we were little kids to go against everything that you should be using as like your compass. Like your body is you are literally gifted a compass as a shell for your soul. And I know it's very popular to say like, don't make decisions with your emotions, like use your mind. And that's so off base. Absolutely listen to your body. It's much smarter than your brain. A gut feeling or gut instinct is a phrase for a reason. If you are in some sort of religious institution and it feels icky, like think about it. Why does it feel icky? Like, is there something else you can believe in? Can you completely like break free from that and, do your own research, walk your own path? Not everything is for everybody. This world of spirituality is so vast, and like I had no clue until now that I'm sitting in it, but there's a lot out there and not all of it is correct, and absolutely not all of it is correct for you. So I think it is like our responsibility as souls walking around on this planet to figure stuff out for ourselves, really decide what resonates with your heart, and make your moves from that place, make your decisions from that place, because there's so much yuckiness and ugliness out there, you guys, and it doesn't need to be like that. And the planet is absolutely moving in a better direction. We still have a lot of work to do. We still have a lot of people to wake up, and like the whole point of waking up is so that you're not acting on autopilot anymore, which you've probably done for the majority of your life. All of the all of the things encompassed in like mythology and fairy tales and like folklore and like paganism, like all of that stuff is real. It's literally all real. And it's one thing to believe in ghosts or like believe that you have a guardian angel with you, or like, oh, my dead grandma sent me that sign. Like that's really sweet and it's kind of like comforting for people. But to actually legitimately know that that's true, that's a whole nother level of understanding, awareness. I'm holding my lapis lazuli crystal because it's good for your throat chakra. And I don't want to keep any secrets from you guys. I really want to just flow out information. I go up into Lala Delulu land and I want to spit it out as like regular stuff for you guys to relate to. I truly feel that's like my purpose on this planet. That has been confirmed by my angels. If you guys are interested in angels, I will absolutely be interviewing my angel reader. I love her so much. She has absolutely been the person I've been able to like turn to on this journey and like ask questions, and bless her for always answering me. She's so sweet. But like, I wish there were more people that were like open and honest, because after I knew for a fact, and that's kind of a very comforting thing too, is that I'm no longer like believing in something. I just know. Like, I know what I know. When I hear something that's true, I know it's true. It's like such a nice way to go throughout your life, let me tell you. So, when I found out that we're not just humans, like, you are a soul, okay? You're probably pretty old too. You've probably lived lots of lives. And you craft your life before you come. You pick your body, you pick your parents, you pick your circumstances, you pick your struggles, tragedies, traumas, successes. You pick what type of environment you want to live in, what sort of family dynamic you want to have. You choose all of this before you come here. You make contracts with everybody in your play of life that you're all going to impact each other in this specific way so that you can learn these specific lessons, because when you're created, when you were a baby soul, you were perfect. And all you knew was unconditional love. And then how boring is that? It's pretty boring. It's probably really nice coming from Earth, because this is supposedly the hardest planet to be incarnated on. Just so you know, for future episodes, it's really rough here, and we go through a lot of hard shit here. And just you being here means that you're probably pretty advanced. You've already mastered, like being a fish and stuff. Like you mastered that already. So now you're here trying to learn compassion, forgiveness, grief, loss, wealth, abundance, scarcity, poverty. You're trying to learn all of that stuff because you know nothing about it, because everything in soul world is light and rainbows, man. When you leave your body, it's like A plus living. Okay, that's what it is. This is like D minus here. So the point is to try and make your D minus human life into an A plus soul life. And that doesn't mean not be human, because if you weren't supposed to be human, you wouldn't come here. The point is not to sit on like Machu Picchu, meditate for 12 days straight and levitate off the ground and understand the meaning of life, and you just keep that to yourself. That's not the point. We are here trying to raise the vibration of the planet as a whole. The entire planet is ascending currently. That's why everything is so polarized right now. So the more light that is shed in the dark, the more darkness has to disperse, right? Think of it like, in literal terms, there's literally more light shed on the planet. The solar flares happening right now are more predominant than they've ever been in the past, ever. Oh, also time and space don't exist, but talk about that later. So think of it like if you're in this like really crummy apartment in like New York City, and it's dirty and dingy and there's like cockroaches everywhere. And say you wake up in the middle of the night and go into the kitchen and you flip the light on to before it's just quiet darkness. And you flip the light on, and that's when all of the evil or the darkness has to get out of there. And that's when you see all the cockroaches. You know what I'm talking about? If you don't know what I'm talking about, then maybe you've already lived your really rough lives and now you're in a rich life. And good for you. Good for you. But that's like how I see it in my head. Because the more light that is shown, the more darkness that has to be revealed and figured out so that we can squash it, Can't squash the cockroach if you can't see the cockroach, right? That was really deep, guys, and that just came to me right now. I just want you to know. But anyway, what are some other things that I can tell you that I would love to discuss with you? So I'm currently working on my own connection with my spirit team. What's a spirit team, Nadia? Well, let me tell you. So you are surrounded constantly by angels, spirit guides, and past ancestors. Maybe if they really liked you, but they're with you all the time. You do have a guardian angel. Your guardian angel has been with you in all of your lifetimes and will continue to be with you in all of your lifetimes. You have a spirit guide at least one that is with you your entire life, and many that come in for different reasons throughout your life, like depending on your season of life. You might have archangels that hang with you. You might have different ascended masters that hang with you. Ascended masters would be humans that were on the planet and became enlightened and kind of mastered the human experience. That's like Buddha, Jesus, Mother Mary, Saint Germain, transcended now the human experience. They don't need to learn here anymore. So their job is to help us little toddlers here walking around on earth get to their level. So good luck. Good luck. If everybody walked around knowing Jesus was literally watching them, like how much of a better place would this world be if everybody thought about it like that? And it's not even just a thought, because it's real. If you just knew he was there watching you, how would you act? I challenge you to go throughout your week thinking about that. So I'm, anyway, currently trying to make a clear connection with them so that I can clearly hear their messages, which would be like what you would call a medium or like a psychic medium. I am at the point now where I can hear frequency, I can hear energy. I can hear when they're around me. I can hear when they want my attention. It just sounds like energy. It sounds like if you are at a concert and a microphone gets unplugged on accident and it's that loud, like that. It's vibration. That's all it is. That's all anything is vibration. I feel it so strongly in my left ear, which probably not coincidentally is your feminine side, aka your receiving side. So that is the side that I feel that energy come in, and it just feels like my eardrums can explode. I cannot yet discern any messages. That's what I'm working on. I am learning a ton about crystals right now and like how to connect with them, how to connect with their energy, how to use them for healing. I will be learning about Reiki and how to use that sort of energy transfer work for healing. I really want to learn about everything in the world and be able to tell it to you to help you on your journey. If there's anything specific you want to know about, I would love to talk about that with you guys. But anyway, I am just here to put a regular face person talking about this stuff. I'm not saying people who do talk about it aren't regular, but I do believe there comes a point in people's spiritual journeys where they become very unrelatable, and I do not plan to get to that point. I am all about the woo-woo weirdos. I will listen to them all day long. I'm all about it. But I do understand that it's only for a type of person who's like actively seeking out information that's going to sit through that and listen to that and be able to resonate with that. So I just want to be regular. We're just going to make spirituality chill and part of your everyday. And it doesn't have to be a big deal. And meditating isn't like this horrible task you have to do. It's actually really fun because you might get a message from your spirit guide and find out who they are. And maybe you'll find out that, I don't know, some cool alien god hangs out with you. Like, wouldn't that be dope? Wouldn't that be dope to know? Yeah, so I know I'm totally rambling. I'm going to end this here. But thank you. Holy crap, if you stuck around this long. I've been so nervous to start doing this, but it's on because I've gotten like direct orders from my spirit team to get on the ball. That I'm taking too long. So anyway, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. You can communicate with me here. Please leave me comments about what you want to hear about. If any of this brought up any questions for you, if you're kind of like feeling existential right now, that's fine. It's all safe. You'll get through it. I will talk to you about it. You can reach out to me on Instagram at Nurse Nadia K. I'll pop it right here. But yeah, that's all I have for you guys today. I really appreciate you sticking around, and I'm hoping to release an episode every single week. So I will see you soon. Bye-bye.